I'm using contact cement that I purchase in, it's basically the same type of container that you get propane in. The advantage to this, it's a little cleaner, a little faster, and it doesn't have the odor. The other stuff, you want to wear a respirator, you want to make sure there's a lot of air in the room, and you want to make sure there's no open flames. This is still flammable, want to be careful, but at the same time it is a lot safer and a lot better smelling than the other stuff. I'll double coat this. So now I'll let that dry until it's dry to the touch, which is about 30 minutes. So now I'm just going to roll it, make sure you get all the air bubbles out. I have a special cutter that is, it's got a plastic kind of square, you can see it's kind of square rather than just a regular bearing. And this, it'll spin freely, it's got a bearing in it, but once it comes into contact with the surface it's riding on, it'll stop spinning and just slide along there. And they're designed specifically for laminate. I put a coat on the whole surface and then I went around the edges again. I always double glue the edges while it's still wet and tacky, and it'll blend together. I'm ready to install the P-Lam on the top. Before I do that, I'm going to clean the edge up really good. When spraying the top, you get a little glue on the edge, and it dries nice, but what happens is, as I route, the little flecks that have glue on them will stick, and then the router, it'll get in front of the router, and then the router bearing will bump, and you'll get a little bumpy edge. Now I want to stick the piece on, but as soon as the glue on each touches, it won't move. So to keep it from sticking, I'll put these boards on, and I'll be able to adjust the material, make sure it's lined up before I start tacking it down. Now, normally what you'll see people use is some 3/8 or 1/2 inch dowels. They'll have a bunch of those, and they'll just lay them out. And they work better than these. These are flat, so they'll stick, they'll catch a little bit more, but they'll work fine in this little job. Okay, so I'll pull the middle one out first and stick from the middle out toward both ends, and then pull those, stick that down. And that way you don't accidentally stick on the end and have it stuck here and then have a rise, and it's really tough to get that out once that glue sticks. I'll roll out all the air bubbles. Roll in from the middle out. And you want to make sure that the bearing, whether you're using a metal bearing or one of these square plastic ones, that it's clean. It'll have a tendency to pick up some of the glue, and then it can make for a little bit of a bumpy ride and mess up your edge as well. So it's not a bad idea to make sure that that's cleaned up. So after you route that edge off, it's a perfect edge. It's a little sharp. So if you take some, this is a 120, and just knock the edge off a little bit. Job's never done until it's clean. All right, ready to go put in the motorhome. So this would be perfect when I'm traveling, photographing all day, early morning to late evening. I could be able to come back and sit down at the computer, do all of my cataloging, keywording, and some editing, and even some posting. And when we're hitting the road, all I have to do is pop the table off. It'll sit right here in the corner. When the slide comes in, it'll be right behind the slide. Well, I am a woodworker, as you've seen from my other videos. I don't really do laminate that much. I usually hire pros for that. But I wanted to show you when you get in a pinch or you want to do something for yourself, it really isn't that difficult. Well, thanks for taking the time to watch. Have a great day.